Sebastian Faber, professor of Hispanic Studies at Oberlin College, author of the forthcoming book Memory Battles of the Spanish Civil War, and co-author of the Nation article Have Spain and Catalonia Reached a Point of No Return? Aaron Mate, it's the real news. I'm Aaron Mate. Tens of thousands are protesting across Catalonia today following the Spanish crackdown on its referendum. Spanish forces injured hundreds who took part in Catalonia's vote for independence, which authorities say received over 90% support. Today in Barcelona, a massive crowd marched on the Spanish National Police regional headquarters. The Spanish government says the referendum was illegal and their standoff with Catalan leaders is said to be Spain's worst constitutional crisis since the country became a democracy 4 decades ago. Sebastian Faber is a professor of Hispanic Studies at Oberlin College, author of the forthcoming book Memory Battles of the Spanish Civil War. Professor Faber, welcome. Help us understand what's going on right now. S. Faber, today, there's been a general strike declared all over Catalonia with a high percentage of following. Barely any public transportation ran, roads were blocked, freeways were blocked. And the streets of the cities, especially Barcelona, filled with people either marching in silence or singing songs and kind of performing what has been so far the collective attitude of the Catalans as they are fighting for their right to self-determination. That performance has been a performance of peaceful protest, civilized dialogue, democratic, the performance of democratic aspirations, really. The response from the central Spanish state has been, for the past number of years but especially in the last weeks and especially last Sunday, has been harsh and inflexible and repressive. On Sunday, we all saw how people trying to vote were met with visored riot police with the billy clubs, nightsticks hitting old people, young people, anybody who tried to express their democratic right to vote. The defense that the Spanish state has given of its crackdown on what the Catalans are trying to do is that it's merely following the law. The Constitution of 1978 in Spain does not allow for referendums on self-determination. It declares that Spain as a nation is indivisible, and it limits the recognition of Spain's multinational makeup really to the creation of 17 autonomous regions. Catalonia has tried to redefine its statute of autonomy, but in 2010, that redefined statute was declared null and void by the country's constitutional court, by Spanish Constitutional Court. Ever since then, so for the past 7 years, the push for self-determination and the push for independence has been stronger and stronger. And everything indicates that the state's response, the harsh response from the Spanish state has only managed to increase the feeling that lives among many people in Catalonia, which is that they don't fit, they don't belong to Spain, Spain doesn't want them. Just an hour ago, the Spanish king came extraordinarily on television in a 6 or 7 minute speech to declare his position. Some people hoped that he would sound a more conciliatory tone, a more sympathetic tone, perhaps that he would mention that the police violence of last Sunday was regrettable, but none of that happened. He did not mention the violence. He didn't even use the word dialogue at all. He talked about Concordia, and he talked about Catalonia being a part of Spain, but he also, in very harsh terms, condemned the politicians in Catalonia who have been organizing the referendum and pushing for independence. He said they were breaking Spain apart and they were breaking the law. It sounded to me like the king was preparing the ground for an even heavier intervention from the Spanish state, which could easily take the shape of revoking Catalonia's autonomy. Aaron Mate, what do you think was behind the decision to crack down so harshly on Sunday's vote? What was the calculation there? Faber, honestly, it's really hard to say because from a PR perspective, from a political perspective, from an international image perspective, the crackdown was really bad for the Spanish state. This has been a standoff between Madrid and Barcelona and both sides have tried to rally public opinion both in Spain and abroad behind them. In that game, in that competition, the Spanish state really shot itself in the foot on Sunday. The only justification, the only political motivation that I can think of for this harsh crackdown on the voters on Sunday could have been to please that part of the Spanish constituency, the conservative voting bloc that supports the ruling party in Spain, and that part of that bloc that really wants to see the Catalans punished for daring to even suggest that they don't belong in Spain, or daring to even threaten with the breakup of a unified Spanish nation. Aaron Mate, what are the key issues that undergird the Catalan desire of end?